Yo, what is up guys? It is CRPHD back with another video. So within these past few weeks, Apple has managed to drop a few products that I wanted to go ahead and just take a quick look at. Now, the thing that instantly jumped out to me was that the fact that Apple made a new iPhone SE. It's not officially called the SE2, it's just the iPhone SE, but I'm calling it the 2 just because it's the second window. You get what I mean. But everything new with this iPhone SE is done internally. Pretty much has the same body as the iPhone 8 and the same internals from the iPhone 11 Pro Max, I think. It took all the internals from that phone, placed it down in this phone, and I guess just gave it a single lens camera. That's pretty much the phone in a nutshell. It starts at $399, which is like very shocking to me because we all know Apple to be a more premium, expensive. $400 is still expensive for a phone. Not just saying, or I'm just saying at least. I wouldn't expect that from Apple regardless. This phone has, like I said, it's the same internals from the more premium flagship phones. So that means that this iPhone SE2 does have the A13 Bionic chip. Just think about it. You have a phone that's $400 that has the internals of the flagship phones that Apple makes, and as well as it only is running on a 720p display. That phone is probably, at that price point too, is probably gonna last forever. That's just a crazy amount of overhead room and just the longevity of the phone. I wouldn't have thought that Apple would have did that. Now, the reason Apple was able to get this phone to this specific price point was because as far as manufacturing goes, they don't really have to change the manufacturing process of the phone itself because it's the same body, like I said, as the iPhone 8. But I just wish that it had more of a futuristic design. But I can see that people will still buy this phone regardless that it doesn't look more futuristic, just because it's what people are used to and it just works overall. There's still markets out there where people don't want that whole crazy futuristic thing. They just want what has been there, what they are used to, and what they know works. And then also, with this being in the iPhone 8's body, it does have Touch ID, which is nearly a perfected way of authenticating yourself into your phone. So that's great. But yeah, that's pretty much everything regarding the new iPhone SE. It is not officially out for sale. It is up for pre-order on Apple's website. So if you guys want to go ahead and cop one of those, I will leave a link in the description. I really want this new iPad. I currently have a 9.7-inch iPad Pro. This one was released a while back ago, and it has been serving me well. It still can do everything that I needed to do, but it's just, I am ready to upgrade and get that extra bit of performance. And on top of that, this only has 64 gigabytes of storage, and whenever I'm video editing or doing anything like that, I'll have to delete like apps and all types of stuff to be able to video edit and create room to import the footage, export it, and then re-download everything that I deleted as far as all my apps and stuff goes. And I'm just getting really tired of that. So I pretty much think it's time to just, you know, put this one away. Give it a little break. But back to the new iPad Pros. The base model for the 2020 iPad Pro will start at $799, and that is for the base model 11-inch at 128 gigabytes, which isn't bad. I would most definitely take that over this any day. But yeah. Now the prices will differentiate just depending on the model that you get, whether it's the 11-inch or the 12.9-inch, and then on top of that, just your storage configuration, and you get what I mean. It's pretty much just the same stuff from the previous generation slapped in the new generation and just rebranded and just a slight performance boost. Like, it's just barely. So the official name for this new processor for these new iPads is the A12Z Bionic chip. It comes with 6 gigabytes of RAM, and that is also going to be very useful whenever you are multitasking. So I'm glad to see that. If you are thinking about getting this new iPad and you have a previous generation, like the very last one that came out right before this one, there really isn't a point to getting it because, like I said, this the overall responsiveness of the iPad, you wouldn't be able to tell in day-to-day use. So that's just my personal opinion, just to you, in case you're just thinking about buying it. Now, as far as the next thing that I wanted to touch on with these iPads, is probably the first thing that you notice whenever Apple released them, but it is the new camera unit on these devices. So the new cameras on the iPads are pretty much the same ones brought down from the new premium flagship smartphones, and they slapped them onto here, and as well as something new that Apple's been working on, and it's called the Lidar Scanner. And basically this is just going to help with augmented reality and just that type of stuff that no one really focuses on because it really isn't like mainstream or isn't super popular yet, but it's future-proofing the iPad for if it ever does become just a really big thing. So now that this iPad has a dual lens setup, of course you have your main shooter, which is just the regular lens that you use whenever you open your Photos app, and as well as you also have a wide angle lens whenever you want to capture a more wide shot, pretty much. Now, the new cameras in the iPads are cool. I don't think that it's 100% needed, or that it was 100% needed to put in them, because, like, I don't know. Like, I really can't be the one talking. Like, I started off my YouTube channel recording on my iPad.
Yeah, I'm actually shooting off of my iPad Pro right now as I'm speaking.
I'm telling you personally, don't be that guy that, like, takes pictures with their iPad and video records unless you have to. I wish they could have just put in just a good camera in here, not the best of the best, but a good camera, and then just cut back the overall price so that way it could be more affordable. Now that's pretty much it as far as just me going over the overall specifications and thoughts with the new iPad Pros. Everything else is pretty much the same. I only talked about what was different from the previous generation. But there's also another question that I really wanted to hop into in this video, and it's something that's been floating around for a really long time within the tech community, if you haven't been following, but it's, can an iPad Pro, or just an iPad in general, actually replace a PC or a modern computer, a MacBook, a Windows laptop? Can an iPad replace that? Yes and no. Let me explain. Now, when you ask a question like that, it ultimately just depends on the person that you are. If you're a graphic designer and you work with the Adobe suites a lot, then you're obviously not going to be able to get that on an iPad. But if you are a small YouTuber like me and you pretty much go to class, take your notes, type papers, things like that, edit videos, like I edit all my videos on this iPad, by the way, like things like that, then for me specifically, or for people like me, then you're gonna be able to get all that stuff done perfectly fine. And then for other people, just the average Joes that literally just browse the web, go on Facebook, watch YouTube videos and everything else, play games, of course, iPads are pretty much like all you need. You don't need a high-end computer to do any of that stuff, really. I do not use my iPad just all the time. Like, it's my main device, but it's not my only device, if you get what I'm saying. I can technically edit my website, edit my videos, my thumbnails, write my papers, do everything. And I mean everything that I need to do on this iPad. Is it the best way and the most efficient way of doing it whenever you have desktops and laptops and other computers that maybe can take a little bit of that stress off of you. Probably not the best option just to only use this. So yes, I do use my iMac whenever I'm editing my website, whenever I'm going to YouTube Studio, unless I'm using the Apple in here. But I'm just not going to completely say that I'm only using this device. I feel like with the Magic Keyboard that Apple is making, and as well with paired with the new iPads, that is going to be a crazy killer combo. The new iPads have USB Type-C, so that's going to offer a lot more versatility and just overall efficiency whenever transferring files. Like, it's going to be moving stuff that fast. 128 gigabytes of storage, that's going to be real nice, not having to delete stuff off of my iPad to make room, then import the footage, and then all that big hassle. And then on top of that, like, guys, the new iPads, or just, yeah, the new iPads have a 120 hertz display. That's like literally a gaming monitor on the iPad, which is literally just overkill at that point. And that's why iPads are at the pinnacle of tablets. Now, I understand not every app is going to run at 120 hertz. Of course, it has to be optimized for that. But just knowing the fact that I can edit videos and just have a display that just runs buttery smooth, is just like, man, I just can't wait for that. I kind of lost track with what I was saying because I feel like I'm just kind of fanboying over these new iPads, but let's just come back together with what I was saying. The overall performance of the iPad, the optimization, the software, everything that it has going right now is going in the right direction, especially if you're trying to persuade people that this iPad is actually going to replace their main computer, their laptop, their PCs. I feel like that's just another step closer that they're getting to changing people's minds, and they're heading in the right direction. I will get that new iPad very soon, hopefully, and as well as I will be ordering the Apple Pencil 2nd generation and the Magic Keyboard. So stay tuned for that, because I'm most definitely doing an unboxing and review, first impressions, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, because the next video is right on the corner. Peace.